Historically in Germany, baths and saunas are not divided into separate rooms for men, women, and children. There is one room where everyone washes their naked bodies without shyness. For us, it sounds rather wild and I would even say barbaric, but in Germany, they do not pay attention to it at all. If you suddenly think that you are the smartest, put on your swimming trunks and go to a German bath, it is not so. In the rules, strictly forbidden to visit the baths in swimming trunks and bathing suits. Such a small thing as rubber slippers you also cannot use. These rules apply to almost all rooms inside the bathhouse, whether it is a bathing room, pool, or sauna. Let's find out and try to understand, where did such a spicy tradition of the Germans come from? As for swim trunks and bathing suits, all of them consist of synthetic materials. Germans believe, and there is a corresponding reason, that in a wet and hot environment, synthetic materials will release toxic substances, which of course will have a detrimental effect on health. A person in a bathing suit or even swimming trunks will harm both himself and people around him. The one who tries to pass into the bathhouse in swimming trunks or swimsuit will be stopped at the entrance and sent back. If you cover your intimate parts with your hands, so that God forbid no one would see such beauty, the surrounding Germans will look at such an action as something strange and consider such a person simply a weirdo. So why not separate areas for men and women? Let them walk around naked, but at least not stare at each other. The fact is that Germans are not ashamed of nudity and their naked bodies in particular. Secondly, the economy plays an important role. Two different zones, it has twice as much space, and accordingly large costs for the construction of premises, maintenance, utilities, and so on. As a consequence, you can see such pictures. Naked ex-students over 18 years old can easily bathe next to the naked moms of classmates, willy-nilly looking at especially hot representatives. This is quite normal, at least for Germans. There was an interesting case when a company from Russia vacationed in Germany and simply did not believe in such rules of public baths. The company consisted of husbands and wives, all were not more than 40 years old. Naturally, they decided to check the German baths for tradition and went to sea, taking bathing suits with them. At the entrance, they really were not allowed in bathing suits, but since they had already paid for the visit, they decided to go without. To say it was embarrassing is an understatement. Naked Germans did not embarrass them as much as the fact that husbands face each other's wives and evaluate them on all parameters. The wives were also not lagging behind. Although they compared the length of their husband's dignity, everything else was visible. Further looking matter did not go, but after such a trip, these memories for a long time stirred them in family life. Someone even fantasized together with his wife on this topic, admitted one of the girls, who was a participant in this racy story. There are, of course, exceptions. Some bathhouses organize separate days for men and women, but this is rare. Such separation is designed more for foreigners than for locals. To many foreigners, even those who have lived in Germany for decades, common baths for men and women seem a wild phenomenon, and they try not to go there. German society considers it a norm when, for example, business partners invite each other to home saunas and discuss work issues there naked. They can easily be joined by naked wives, and they, as if nothing happened, continue to communicate without looking at the breasts of another's wife. For those who have never encountered such rules, it will be difficult to keep a nonchalant face or hide their excitement. For example, it can be a mishap, to put it mildly. The guest will blush, cover up, and consider others. This will clearly cause misunderstanding of others. German baths consist of two parts. The first part is the unclothed zone. The second part includes a lounge area, water slides, and a bar. You can cover yourself there with towels wrapped around you, or you can even wear swim trunks. Such a rule is optional, so most Germans go there naked. The philosophy is also that the body rests better this way. Clothing can prevent the body from fully resting. There are also a number of rules in the German bath. You cannot make noise, shout, even loud talk is undesirable. Imagine you sit naked, resting, a real relaxation. and then next to someone loudly begins to roar at the top of his voice, clearly the rest will be spoiled and relaxation will be more difficult. It is not allowed to sit on the shelves and lie down naked. Before settling down, it is necessary to lay a bath towel. The size of these towels is huge. They are up to 2 meters long. This is another feature of German baths. There is a special ceremony in a German bath, sprinkling hot stones. The stones are poured not with ordinary water, but with tincture of eucalyptus, orange, mint, aromatic oils, or honey. During the process, the sauna employee jokes with the visitors or simply can support the conversation that would not sit silently naked with bewildered faces. During this procedure, you cannot leave the room so that the aromatic steam does not come out. Of course, if you feel bad, you can leave. After this procedure, the bathhouse visitors go for a bath. In German saunas, a pleasant and relaxed atmosphere is maintained. Pleasant music plays, and the staff give out free ice cubes, creams, and salts. At the end of the session, they offer ice cream, juice, or a cup of tea. Usually the treat is already included in the ticket price. You don't have to pay extra for it. It is also worth noting that the light in the baths is slightly dimmed, yet it is done that the visitors would try not to look at each other and people feel more relaxed. Do you think it is normal for men and women to steam in the same room? In fact, after 5 minutes of a small stupor, you stop paying attention to the forbidden fruit, because beckons, excites, only what is hidden. Moreover, after a short period of time, while the adaptation takes place, a feeling of a certain commonality between men and women appears, which in other cases does not happen. We are just people, as we are, with our own nuances and twists. It's just that none of that matters now. Everyone is in the same boat. It's really great, and something everyone needs to experience at least a few times in their lives. How cool it is to let go of your shame. When there is nothing to hide, there is an unusual feeling of lightness, a feeling of freedom from convention. This feeling manifests itself physically, as if you have thrown off some weight. Of course, if you have a good figure, it will be easier for you to adapt faster, because psychologically you realize that you have nothing to be ashamed of. But as practice shows, other people with ordinary forms also quite quickly master. So go people in common baths. It is good for the psyche. After all, in nature we should be naked, and so nature has provided a compensatory mechanism, and there will be no negative consequences for the body. P.S. Only the speech, of course, about mentally healthy people. Subscribe to the channel, put likes, and share your opinion in the comments. See you soon!